What's up, everybody? It's your girl Nita, your favorite diva, and I'm back for a review reaction. Now, you know I don't normally do these. I usually do reviews, and but this one rubbed me so wrong that I had to actually make a video about it. So we're gonna watch it together. This guy, if you don't know who he is, John Campea, he is a YouTube personality. He worked with AMC, Collider, and now he works independently. And I used to watch him when Collider. That's when I used to watch him. When he came on his own, he would say little problematic things. One thing of note, I can remember back to which made me stop watching him altogether, was that with Black Panther's success, that the story is not about all of Black Panther's success. It's about why Tomb Raider didn't perform as well. So I was sitting up there like, what kind of backhanded dumbass comment was that? I was just like, okay, clearly. Like, and then the way he would disparage Black Panther, look, listen, I can't do it. We're gonna sit up here and we're gonna watch him talk about The Harder They Fall. Okay.
As one of the most ridiculously talented casts I've heard of in a long time. It's a Western called The Harder They Fall. Now, we talked about the trailer a couple of weeks ago. I love the trailer. I thought the trailer was great. And, you know, you got a cast like Jonathan Majors, who, of course, was just in Lovecraft Country. He's now Kang the Conqueror. You had Idris Elba. You have the goddess, Regina King. You have Lakeith Stanfield, who's becoming one of my favorite guys to watch in Hollywood. You have the incredible Delroy Lindo. You have Zazie Beetz, and just on and on. It's just a terrific, incredible cast. So last night, I had the opportunity to watch the movie. I think it comes out on Netflix in a couple of weeks. I can't remember exactly when, but I had the chance to watch this on Netflix last night. This movie is terrible.
What? What the fuck?
It's absolutely terrible. Like, to the point, I remember I was watching, a friend of mine was over watching, and about 3/4 of the way through the film, I put this up on Twitter, he just kind of said out loud, this movie has all the emotional weight of a ham sandwich. Oh. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, I want to point out, now look, normally about 80 or 90% of the time, I find myself in alignment with what the majority of critics think. Like, if the majority of critics like something, I usually find that I like it too. If the majority of the critics don't like something, I usually find I don't like it either. But sometimes it's different. Right now, this movie, The Harder They Fall, has an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
86 right
81%.
now.
That doesn't seem that bad.
That's very good. My question is, what the fuck movie did they watch? And I say that understanding all film is subjective. It absolutely is. I'm not taking any of that away from that. But I am so dumbfounded by this. I cannot help but shake my head and say, what the fuck movie did they watch? This movie is awful. Like, it's awful with a capital A. And you know what? I'm not going to give away like things like the main sort of, what's the best thing I'm looking for? I'm not going to give away like the main plot reveals or anything here, but I'm going to give away a couple of details about the film right now just to illustrate how truly terrible this movie is, okay? Again, I'm not going to give away the big twist at the end. I'm not going to give away a lot of that stuff. But there's a few moments in the film I'm going to give away. If you want to know nothing about The Harder They Fall, then tune out for a couple of minutes and then come back in and join us. But here's the thing. So there's this part of the movie. This is just an illustration, okay?
This is just a part of the movie.
There's a part of the movie where, okay, so the basic gist of the movie is this. Jonathan Majors was wronged, you know this from the trailer, was wronged by Idris Elba's character at some point, and they both run gangs, right? And Idris Elba's character is a bad, bad man, and Jonathan Majors is out to get him for revenge, right? So that's the thing. So and Zazie Beetz is with Jonathan Majors. Regina King is on Idris Elba's side. Okay, following me here? So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part of the movie, and again, this is just to illustrate how absolutely absurd this whole film is. There's a part of the movie where Jonathan Majors and his gang, and he's with Zazie Beetz, are looking down at the town where they know Idris Elba is, and it's nighttime. And Zazie Beetz says, I'm going to go into town. I'll be back by morning. I'm going to go get the lay of the land. And I'm going to go figure out what's their strength down there, because they run the town, right? So I'm going to go down there and get their strength and everything. And he's like, no, it's too dangerous. And she goes, oh, I'm not asking your permission. And okay, whatever. So she goes down. And she's famous, by the way. She's infamous. Like she's Stagecoach Mary. She's infamous. Like everybody knows who she is, right? So she goes into town and is literally riding her horse alone down the middle of the street with all these Idris Elba guards looking at her. And she rides right up to the saloon and she gets captured. And like you're thinking, oh, so there's a plan that we, the audience, don't know about. No plan. She just rode right into town and they capture her. Oh, and they beat her up good, right? Like Regina King is beating on her and stuff like that. So, now you go back to Jonathan Majors and his gang. It's like, all right, well, we got to go into town and save her. No plan. They literally ride into town.
That is the damn plan.
Right down the middle of the street. And so they bring out Stagecoach Mary and say, you come with us or we kill her. Oh, okay, I guess we got caught. So they capture him and beat the shit out of him. And meanwhile, all of us, there's me, Ann, and two of our friends are sitting there watching this movie. It's like, wait a minute. What the actual fuck? That's the story? Like, that's the plan these characters had? Let's walk into the town and ride right down the middle and get caught. And then there's this whole bank robbery thing that they have to do. Then it ends up they didn't need to do the bank robbery at all. Oh, and this is where like the cream of the crop happens. Do you know what a facade is in sets, Aaron? Okay, for those of you who don't know what a facade is, when you go on like the Universal studio tour or the Warner Brothers lot tour or things like that, a facade is like a set on a street, right? And you see a big building, but it's not a building. If you go behind it, you see it's just a big piece of wood that is made to look like the front of a building, right? It's fake. It's a facade. It's not a real house. It's just the front of the house with nothing behind it, right? Aaron, I kid you not. There are 3 shots, no less than 3. There might have been more than I missed. There are 3 shots. Because, a lot of it takes place in this town, this Western town. There's no less than 3 shots where you literally see the back of the facades. There where they literally, like you got Delroy Lindo standing in the street. Delroy Lindo's awesome. And behind him, you see the back of one of the building facades. So it's just this cheap wood with the braces on it, holding up the front of the building. It's like, wait, was that just a facade? And then they go back to the shot again. It's like, oh my God, they just showed the facade twice. And it's like, did nobody know this? And then, like, just, it's so bad. The movie is terrible. It's too bad, too, because the story of it, like the basic elevator pitch of this movie is great.
It is.
You've got these great
what is the elevator pitch?
Elevator pitch.
Give me the 2-sentence version of what this movie's about.
Okay. As a young man, Jonathan Majors, as a young boy, Jonathan Majors' character witnesses his parents murdered by Idris Elba. Idris Elba then goes to jail, but is broken out by his old gang now years later. And Jonathan Majors is the head of his own gang and vows revenge to get Idris Elba. It's
great.
Awesome. Yeah. And you got Lakeith in there, and you got Regina in there, you got Zazie Beetz in there, you got Idris Elba, and Jonathan.
It's an amazing cast.
On and on and on and
on.
on.
Really very talented performers.
I was so excited about this movie. Like when I get screening links, I just sit down and pop one on Rick. But I was so excited with this movie. I invited a couple of buddies to come over to the house to sit down and watch with us. I ordered food. I was like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. Because the trailer was great.
By the way, note to everybody watching, there was one friend that was not invited, just letting you guys know.
I was going to make you drive in from Los Angeles for it. I mean, friends who live like within 15 minutes of me.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, I hear you're gonna watch a movie, and I'm like, well, I'll watch it at home. But then I hear that you're ordering food, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why wasn't I invited? Okay, but yeah, so you order all this food, you're expecting this is gonna be amazing, and then you all sit down, and it's just a big turd sandwich.
Now, actually, Lloyd Lester is asking a question. He's joking around, but honestly, Lloyd Lester in the live chat saying, John, did you apologize to your friends? I kid you not. When the credits started to roll, I leaned forward, hit mute on the TV, and I turned to my left, my one buddy, Matt. I turned to my right, my other buddy, Ryan. I said, guys, I'm sorry. I am really sorry that I just wasted your evening. I wanted to love this movie.
Tell me what
but
he was
again,
watching?
and look,
And what was the mindset
subjective.
when he
I mean,
went
you may
into
watch
the
this
movie
thing and you may love it. And that's great. Like I said, let me bring this up here again. 81% it's got on Rotten. Now, granted, there's only 26 reviews so far, but I expect that number to go down.
93
but then
for
again,
audience,
I don't
so
expect it to be
audience
as high as it is right now. But listen, don't just take my word for it. It does have an 81% of Rotten Tomatoes right now, which means some of you guys will like it. I am only telling you what my experience was. This movie was utter rubbish. Better than I could make, for sure, but utter rubbish nonetheless. And it's really too bad because the talent in this movie is ridiculous.
Can you look up for me real quick, or let me know and I'll look up for it? I'm curious to see who wrote the screenplay and who directed it, because that's where the
Seal's little brother. Seal's little brother. You know Seal?
The singer?
Yeah. His little brother.
That's who wrote it?
He wrote it and directed it and wrote all the songs.
And
he wrote all the music in it. So
and the music was awesome.
I think it was his
can
first
you
time
say
directing.
anything good about it?
I think it was his first time directing. His name's James Samuel. By the way, he wrote most of the songs in the film.
No emotional weight.
He also clearly watched about 5 Quentin Tarantino movies and said, that's cool, I want to do that. And then tried to put in a lot of Quentin Tarantino
the emotional weight that
things into it.
Which, to be fair, Quentin Tarantino basically watched a bunch of Kurosawa films and said, "I want to do that." And so, you know, we all copy filmmakers that we admire.
But it's distinct. Like Tarantino's films are distinctly Tarantino. There's a lot of influences, yes, but I'm telling you, like you watch this movie and you're like, "Oh, that's directly lifted from Tarantino," and that's directly. I mean, there are worse guys to lift from, but you gotta be Tarantino in order. I don't know, guys. Listen.
Well, especially for Westerns, you know, I mean, I feel like Tarantino is, and I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan, but I feel like if you're going to do a Western, Quentin Tarantino is, and this is not a knock, but it's the low-hanging fruit of Western. There's so many. I mean, I remember, you know, when I was growing up watching old Westerns with my grandfather, that was just his thing, is he loved watching Westerns. And there's just so many in the history of our film, there's so many Westerns by so many different directors that you could go to for source material and then maybe get influence from that and modernize it, which is what Quentin Tarantino has done when he has stretched out and done Westerns. So yeah, I do think that it would be, for anyone out there who's wanting to do I think the way to do it is don't pull from the most recent stock, go back to the original source material and then find ways of modernizing that. That's what Quentin Tarantino did with his own style. You do the same thing, but don't pull from Quentin Tarantino. Dude's still alive and making movies. Pull from the dead folks.
Let me tell you what the most entertaining part of that last night was. Because not only did we get to watch the movie, we watched the live stream of the red carpet first. Because he's Seal. And that was more.
Anyway, so I say all of that to say I wanted you to listen to it with me, and I wanted your opinions in the comments down below. By the way, his co-host is Erin Cummings. She actually plays on King Richard. She was the social worker that came to do an investigation of the girl's household, because, you know, whatever. It's in the trailer though. So actually, I just the thing about what he did there, like there were so many great things about that movie. Like I said, all film was subjective, but I just think the way his mind, like I don't even think he gave the movie a chance, because it's no way. I don't see it. Like, it feels like when you're in the wild, wild west, I don't see all these plans being made and all this other stuff. It's fly by the seat of your pants. It's time to get it how you live. It's like one of those type situations. So I never heard about these best laid plans or whatever when we're talking about westerns. I'm trying to think of like Young Guns. Shit, you just try to get away, right? You just trying to get away, right? So yeah, could that part been a little contrived? Could be, but the fact that he couldn't say anything about it, and it was god awful, not even for the talent alone and the acting, the music, the score, anything, not nothing. Like I was just like, your racism is glaring. Like I was just like, well, what the fuck? What did you watch? And it is really, really, really like this. Ooh, got on my nerves. It got on my nerves. And then the shenanigans that he just did with the Spider-Man stuff, Mm-mm. Mm-mm. He be here for stunts and shows. He be here for stunts and shows. You hear me? Anyway, make sure you get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on where was he coming from with this. Like I swear, I don't think that that's a fair review. And the fact that he saw it like 3 weeks earlier and he has this influence on a lot of people, I just thought it was like it was distasteful. It was distasteful, and he could have really sabotaged the movie. He really could have, because he has a fan base. He has a platform. So anyway, I'm glad most of the critics and the audience had some sense about them and could critique something with showing the flaws and the strengths and the flaws. But that wasn't it at all. So anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Let me know what you think. Am I tripping? Am I reaching? I feel like he was reaching. For sure.